How you doing, guys? Jamie Miller, Proline Racing, Red Hat Mafia. I put a post up on Instagram a few days ago. Got a bunch of interest on bump steer. Figured I'd give a little demonstration here. Everybody's looking to keep themselves busy with these crazy times. So here's a little demonstration of how to set up bump steer on your race car. We're using a long anchor bump steer basically gauge. So I've had an adapter over here that I've made to work with the lamb spindle. So what I did to start was I basically got the length of the strut at ride height. So I used the steering arm, came up to the top where your spring collar would be, documented that. So basically what we have is a starting point. And so as we run through this, we start at 0, which I've got documented as our ride height. And as we go in bump, this is the first part that I try to get really close, because as under braking, you want the car to make the least amount of change. So as you can see here, you only got about a 10,000ths change going into braking, which is very good. So if we go back to our 0 point, and we start from here, now what we'll do is we'll look at the amount of bump steer we have under acceleration when the front end drops out of it. So we can see there, starting at 0, coming down. So basically what we have on this total travel, we have about 60 thousandths moving. So that's about a 1/16 of an inch, which is not horrible. That moves towed in. So typically we start these things at an 1/8 inch toe in. So it's actually going to gain a little bit of toe in under the run. So it's not bad. It's very good for some of the ways I've seen these things set up. So let me show you a little bit what we're talking about here. Just some basic stuff. A lot of people probably know this if you're going in, but toe in was when tires are towed into each other. Toe out would be, they would be pointing away from each other. All right. Caster angle, front of the car. Caster angle is when your strut is laid back. And so the reason I'm bringing this up is the steering arm is connected to your strut. And as you change the caster angle, it changes the steering point. So you can actually make changes to the bump steer by just changing the amount of caster that's in the car. And here's a quick deal here that basically rack mounts and how people start off on judging where they should set their tie rod up. So you've got your lower control arm here. This is a real rough sketch. You've got your lower control arm mounting point, and it attaches to the ball joint. So the rule of thumb that you hear a lot of guys say is, well, you put your tie rod at the same angle. And what I'm trying to show here is if this dimension from your lower control arm to your ball joint is not the same dimension as your pivot on your rack, then that really doesn't apply, because your rate of change is different between the two angles. So if you think of it like this, if this was this long and you move this up and down, you would have a smaller change than if this thing was, let's say, 6 inches, and your rate of change would be much greater. So it's just something to think about when you get into this. Hope this helped. Hope you guys liked the video. Try to get some new stuff out soon. Thanks for watching.